I started out with this idea of a project, mapping institutions and issues, because many times an issue which first looks like a compelling issue that belongs here actually is somewhere else in the system. So I thought I would develop some kind of a platform to map issues against institutions. My background is down on the policy, institutional element, although I recognize that movements are incredibly important and have to be done, and are being done. My basic assumptions are we need comprehensive reform, and I'm very happy that you mentioned comprehensive reform. We can't play whack-a-mole. I mean, you take money out of elections here, and then the revolving door, they pay them later. Or you take money out here, and then there's some other way that they own all the media, so it doesn't matter where the money is. So there are lots of issues, and we can't play whack-a-mole. I have a multi-year strategy. I think we need to map against the election campaigns, very specifically, because these are all quite different. Congressional reform is absolutely essential, and getting money out is obviously critical. I think we need to charter large corporations and write that charter in such a way that they're prohibited from being involved in politics. Strong and sustained citizen movement, leveraging the technology. Now, I came in with this idea that I would help create a platform. And it became crystal clear to me when I was here that the platforms, you guys have the platforms down cold, including all the elements to extend them. So, change the idea. Now, this was the original idea. This is Ken Robinson's RSA Animate. That was so compelling to me when I saw that. I thought, okay, that would be a great user interface to have this little hand draw some of the institutions and some of the words as a 5-minute video, maybe audio by Lawrence Lessig to a YouTube viral video to get people into it. And then it would, that would be the master drawing, and then everything on that drawing would be a clickable link to take you to issue pages where you would have some of this content. So anybody within 2 or 3 clicks is immediately into rich content on the issue they're most engaged with. What I learned here is all of this stuff is already existing. I don't have to redesign that. So I went back to the idea of context, scenarios, and timeline. Now my apologies for this. This is a screenshot with an old iPhone, and I'm going to redo this before it goes live at all. But there are basically 3 scenarios: continued dysfunction, scattered reform, and then big money consolidation. Then we can have some real crises on the other end. So I'm elaborating these scenarios, and I'd be delighted to have your engagement as we go. And then the other thing is, here's the timeline I'm looking at. We have the 2014 elections, and we're working down here right now to shape those. I see this as a critical one here. We develop a trusted process, elections, citizen think tanks, and that election focuses on really doing it. Okay. Okay, got it. And then my interest is out here on the 2020 presidential elections. I think we're going to have a 4-year period of experimentation here that leads to consensus reform. All right, and if you want to be in touch with me more, that's where I am. We'll be in touch here somehow. Thank you much. If you have any questions, I'm wide open. Thank you. And thanks much, Sarah, Aaron, Jeff, and all of the rest, and Chris for making this a wonderful event.
You bet.
Thanks.
All right, who has a question for Dan? Made it so straightforward, nobody has a question. All right, cool.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, all
How
right.
can we get involved? How can we help?
This is morphed into something here today, so for now it's just a brainstorming session. I'm thinking that in about 3 weeks, we should have a meetup here in the Bay Area. Probably invited people rather than just wide open, so we carry on this and develop this into the next steps. So, and here through the rest of this event, we're going to find out how to connect with each other.
And we have set up a Google group. I think I've invited everyone here. If you didn't get an invitation to it, then I probably sent it to some email that you registered on Eventbrite, so let me know. But that enables any of us to communicate with any of us.
Yeah, and I'll clean up those drawings before we send them out.
All right.
Thank you much. Good.
Great, thanks, Dan.